Jay, this morning, information from the Case-Shiller Home Price Index made it official that the value of residential real estate have reached a new low point since the Great Recession began. Home prices dropped by 5.1%, a level not seen since mid-2002. A decade's worth of home prices just vanished. Does the administration have any response to this news? Is there anything that can be done? You weren't in the White House at the time, but the president announced a housing plan to great fanfare that he said would help, I believe, 3 to 4 million people, and I don't think it's quite reached that level. What is the response?
Well, let's step back. First of all, we are obviously aware of these numbers, and we understand that this is a challenge. The housing market remains in a challenging situation. But it's also important to remember more broadly that we have begun effectively a recovery, an economic recovery. We've seen quite solid job growth now for many months, and 750,000 private sector jobs were created over the past 3 months alone. Restoring health in the housing market after its dramatic collapse was never going to be easy. We've taken a lot of measures, some of which you've just mentioned, to mitigate the impact of that, especially on foreclosures. And we are working aggressively to help homeowners modify their loans to avoid going into foreclosure and investing in communities hardest hit by the continued difficulties in the market. In fact, the hardest hit communities program, or hardest hit states program, is just really getting up and running now. So we hope that will have a positive impact. But there's no question this is the domestic housing market was hit very hard by this worst recession since the Great Depression, and it remains a challenge that we're addressing.
The HAMP program may be, obviously it's a tough competition, but it might be the most controversial piece of legislation that the president has put forward in terms of its effectiveness. Obviously, there are other pieces of legislation that people might dispute that claim with, but there are a lot. The president said it would help, I believe, around 3 million people, and last I checked, it was under 1 million who received permanent home modifications. Is there any plan for the administration to try again, try something new, try something more effective?
Well, look, we are implementing the foreclosure mitigation programs that we've already got in place, and over 600,000 homeowners have obtained permanent modifications to their mortgages under HAMP. On average, over the past 6 months, 25,000 to 30,000 more homeowners are obtaining permanent modifications each month. And so far, nearly 1.5 million families have received HAMP trial modifications.
That falls short of the president's goal.
And more work needs to be done. There's no question. That's why we're continuing implementation of the program. And look, one of the things that will help the housing market is continued economic growth and continued job creation, because clearly people with jobs, people with solid incomes, a growing economy, all of those things will help improve the housing market in the long term. And we continue to work on this every day. This is the focus that this president has, and it's why he, going back to Ben's question about the commerce sector, I mean, one of the reasons why he picked John Bryson is because he feels like he understands and will be able to help the economic team focus on doing things that will continue job growth, continue economic growth, increase our competitiveness, increase our exports, all with, the big goal there, which is job growth job creation and economic growth for the long term in this very competitive economic environment.
Given the